Hey YouTube, it's Cherise here, and it's currently 8:43 a.m. on Sunday the 21st of May. I want to do a purple look for you guys. I've been feeling a purple look, and then my sister did this beautiful green look while she was here, and I kind of want to copy that and do that another day. I'm gonna actually do that during the school week because it wasn't like over the top or anything like that, and as you guys know, green is my favorite color. But I saw what color she used and it was really, really pretty, and it won't be too difficult. She didn't make it super complex. Sometimes when I get involved with color, I like to make it difficult, and I think I'm going to do the same technique that she used for the green, but with the purple on the eyelid instead of the green that she used. So let's go ahead and get started. My face is already prepped with skincare. I washed it, exfoliate, toned, dark spot corrector, and moisturize with sunscreen. All that is done. So now we're going to move into primers. I'm also trying out some new makeup techniques because the summer is right around the corner and it's already hot here. It's been up in the 90s already. My drink of choice for this video is Lipton White Mangosteen Peach Green Tea. This is a little packaging. I love this tea. It's really, really good. I like peaches. I don't really like mango, but this tea is really good. And I dyed my hair black. I just did a hair update about my hair, how I dyed it black, what dye did I use, did it change my curl pattern, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I did it myself. So yeah, that video will be uploaded same time as this one. And I did like an orange summer look yesterday and a like Jordana lip product review. So yeah, let's jump into this. One of the techniques I've been trying out is mixing my primers together. You're probably wondering, what do I mean by that? I've been mixing a smoothing primer with a more mattifying primer, like a pore primer and a mattifying primer. I've been mixing those together, and usually one that's more silicone based and one that is more creamy. So the creamy one I'm going to use, and that's supposed to be for mattifying, is the Boots No. 7 Beautifully Matte Makeup Base. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that on my finger, literally that much on my fingertip, and you can see it goes absolutely nowhere. Again, that's the Boots No. 7 Beautifully Matte Makeup Base. Looks like this. You guys have seen me use this before. And then I'm going to put the Maybelline Baby Skin on top and mix the two together in between my fingers and apply it to my face. So this is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. So this one's obviously for pores. So I'm just going to mix them on my finger. I just squeeze it right on top, the same amount basically. And I'm mixing them together on my fingertips. And then I go in and apply it to my face. And this has been working out really well. I can't remember what YouTuber I saw talk about how she did this and how it's been working for her, but it worked for me yesterday pretty well. And then I go in and kind of press. You can see there's a little bit of a white cast, which is fine. So we're gonna go over with foundation. So you can see my face is a little bit more matte. It's nice and smoothed out. So now we can move on to foundation, and for foundation today, I want to go back to one of my old faithful foundations, and this is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Fresh Complexion Foundation in the shade Soft Sable 320. This is one of my favorite foundations from the drugstore. I love this foundation. I haven't worn it in a while though. I might be too dark for it now. We'll see. We're about to find out if I'm too deep for it because I have gotten a tan. I've been in the sun and stuff. And I've been very into brushes for applying my foundation. So I'm going to use my favorite foundation brush at the moment, which is the e.l.f. Foundation Blurring Brush. I've been loving this. Let me shake it up a little bit. So we're gonna apply a line down the sides of my face. If it will come out. I'm running low on it. There we go. There we go. That's plenty enough. Again, this is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Fresh Complexion Foundation. Looks like this. Shade 320. This is the darkest shade. And it has like a gel-like texture. Oh wow, it blends into my skin perfectly. So this color is not too light for me yet. I love the consistency of this foundation. It is so nice. And in my opinion, it's almost like kind of cooling. It feels really good on the skin. That's all I have to say about it. It feels great. All right, so now I'm blending. I haven't tried this foundation with a brush in a very long time, and I think I like this foundation better with the Beauty Blender. All my other foundations I've been loving with a brush, but this one I feel like a Beauty Blender works better, and I have some Beauty Blenders right here, but I don't feel like wetting them and all that good stuff, so I'm going to try and make this work and get some nice even coverage, but I don't know, with the texture of this, it's not really working out with a brush so well. It's looking kind of streaky and patchy, which is not typical of this foundation. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go in with another makeup tool because this is not blending like it normally does. So I'm gonna go ahead and dampen my Beauty Blender. All right, it's nice and damp, and I'm just gonna go in and blend this out before it begins to set. This is a medium coverage foundation, so you'll be able to see in just a second that my imperfections are still showing through. And that's okay because, oops, I forgot to set my, I forgot a step in the new technique I'm trying. I forgot to set my primers with a translucent powder. That's okay though. All right, so like I said, this is very medium coverage. You can still see my imperfections showing through a little bit. So I am gonna go in with a bit more on the sides of my face where I have the most issues. I'm just gonna put some dots on the sides of my face. And that should be good. Trying to build it up some. Build up the coverage. And yeah, this foundation it's really, really nice. I love the consistency. I think it's great for oily skin. It's a great everyday foundation. I definitely need to get some more of it. And it's very long lasting on me as well. That's another reason why I love it so much. Super long lasting on me. All right, so we achieved a little bit more coverage. Everything's nice and blended now. My skin looks nice and smooth. You can still see some of my imperfections showing through because like I said, this is medium coverage. But when we apply the powder, all that will be concealed with powder. So now we're going to set the face with powder, and the powder I'm going to use, I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild pressed powder in the shade Dark Cafe. And I'll go in with another powder after this, but I'm going to go in with this one first. And I'm using an e.l.f. powder brush to pick up the product. I'm just going to press this into the skin all over to set the foundation in place and to help add additional coverage. That's why I'm pressing it into the skin. And it's instantly going to mattify and just smooth out my skin even more and blur my imperfections. It's also going to help the longevity of my makeup. And I really do like this powder. I need to get more of this too. It's very inexpensive and it works really, really well. Do y'all see how it's just like perfecting my skin? I think this is the darkest shade as well. And this powder I think is only like $4.99 or $5.99. It's very inexpensive. The foundation I think is $7.99 or $8.99. So it's also very inexpensive and it works great. I want y'all to see the difference between the sides that are set and unset. So this side of my face is set with the powder. And this side is not set with the powder. So we're just going to continue to press this in all over. And I do multiple layers because, like I said, I have very oily skin. And the more layers, I get more coverage. This doesn't have a lot of coverage, but it does help add some if you layer it on like I do. So I spend the longest amount of time on my complexion, I feel, because that's my favorite part of makeup is the complexion, is the skin. But I also feel like I keep my complexion routine quite simple because I don't do any like concealer or anything like that. But I take my time to make it as flawless and perfected as I can. I have, as of yesterday, started doing a little bit of contour again, so you guys are going to see that. Okay, this is my first time using this powder all over my face first. I usually use it second. And I'm really liking it so far. Let me just look in my mirror. Oh yeah. I'm really liking it, but I'm going to go in with another powder. I'm going to go in with the Black Radiance Soft Focus Finishing Powder in the shade Milk Chocolate Finish, just to add just a little bit more coverage, especially on my cheeks. I really want pretty flawless skin. And my imperfections are peeking through just the tiniest bit, like you can barely see them, but let's see if we can add just a little bit more coverage using the same brush, different powder. I'm just going to go over the top. And because this product is a little bit bigger, it's easier for me to coat my entire brush. So this will go a lot faster. Okay, so I'm done. Just picking up the excess. Alright, so I'm done setting my face with powders. I always like to go over my ears, go around the neck, the chin, make sure I get all that hairline, which we're good on. So now we can move on to highlighting and contouring. I know my face looks a lot lighter on camera, but in person it looks perfect. It matches my chest perfectly. And it looks really, really smooth and really, really flawless. So I'm happy with that. All right, moving on to highlighting and contouring. To keep it simple, I'm just going to use my Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Kit in medium to dark. You guys have seen me use this before. And I like to start with the contour. And I like to use this brush from Coastal Scents, I believe. And I go into the contour shade, loading up my brush, and then going straight into the hollows of my cheek bone. Try not to have it go too low. I'm actually trying to blend it up a little bit. There we go. It's starting to move up a little bit. Time for the other side. The other side always comes out better. Why? I don't know, but it just does. Okay. I'm just getting ready to go to worship service and maybe go out to lunch after. And then I have to do work. And then Brian is coming over to get his clothes since we are no longer together. Probably talk to him for a little bit if he wants to. I don't really care at this point. And then work on my teacher induction portfolio. Oh, yes. I'm loving how this is coming out. I'm just blending. This side is a little more intense than this side. That's okay. All right, I'm also going to take this on the sides of my nose. With the same brush, quite messily. I look like a ghost on camera, but in person my skin looks beautiful and brown. And then I'm also going to take this across my forehead. This is helping to like warm up my skin, and it's giving my skin more dimension. But I feel like even when I just highlight only, that helps to give my skin dimension because I'm bringing certain parts of my face forward and they're glittering in gold. So that's why I've kind of stopped contouring, but I do like the way that it looks, and I feel like it does make a difference. And I can live with just powder contour, not doing the whole highlight with concealer situation. I'm not about that life. It's too much. It's too much for me. Too much. It's too much. It's too much. Too much. Too much. But I can do this. And you can see how it's shaping. It's adding shape to my face. I'm just focusing on this forehead. I'm bringing it down rather far because I have a large forehead. So we're like really going in up there. Go back to the cheeks a little bit. Blending that out. Going back to the sides of the nose. Just hitting those areas. Going under the chin a little bit. Not that I really need to slim down my face because I have a long, slim face anyway. So yeah, that's basically my contouring in a nutshell. Yeah, it looks harsh right now. Don't worry about it. We're going to get it together, okay? So now moving on to highlighter. I've been into a more like diffused, more natural look when it comes to my highlighter. So I'm using the e.l.f. complexion brush and I just coat it in highlighter. And then I just brush it on to the highest points of my face where I want the highlighter to be, which is on my cheekbones. You can see that contrast against the contour just makes it pop even more to get our face nice and snatched. And you can see how fast this is too, this method. And then the bridge of the nose, I literally just brush it across and down the center of my nose. Real easy, real simple. I feel like it's blotchy. It is a little bit blotchy. We'll come back to that. And the Cupid's bow area, that's probably the hardest with this big brush, but I just basically end up highlighting my entire lip, which is okay. Then we're gonna go to the brow bone area a little bit. It's also kind of difficult, but I just basically highlight my entire brow. And I go above it a little bit. I'm kind of flicking it upwards. Just round it out onto the cheekbone area. And I'm done highlighting. Just like that. Boom, my face is highlighted. My face is contoured. Really, really simple, really, really quick. All right, so now to blend everything together, I'm gonna go with my beauty blender that I use to blend out the foundation. I'm starting underneath the contour and just kind of softening that up a little bit. I'm just blending the edges of the contour. I'm gonna go over the highlight a little bit and over the contour directly on the sides of the nose. Really just pressing everything in, to be honest. Really working it into my skin. Okay, I am very happy with how this came out. There's only one area I kind of want to touch up on. And that would be my nose. I'm going in with the brush I used to contour my face, and I'm just kind of redefining that contour on my nose. And you see how the highlight got a little bit skinnier. That's what I wanted to do, is just make sure that highlight wasn't too blotchy or too wide. I'm touching that up. Whatever's left over, go over the cheekbones again. All right. So now we are on to brows. Skin is done. Brows, brows, brows. Now that my hair is black, I'm probably gonna have to add a little bit of black into my hair routine. Also, I have makeup on my edges, so I'm just gonna take my washcloth that I use in the shower to wash my body before I made this video. And I'm just gonna gently wipe off the makeup from my edges. Especially since I didn't slick them down or anything. They don't have to be super perfect. I'm letting them kind of be unruly and curly today. I'm not really feeling the whole slicked edges look today. Most days I do it. Today, I'm not feeling it. So we're gonna go in with my Wet n Wild retractable eyeliner, which I use for my brows. And I might also use the Wet n Wild Kohl eyeliner pencil in black if I need to deepen up my brows. But we're gonna see how this looks with my newly deepened, darkened hair. And please ignore the makeup that is on my bathrobe. All right, so let's assess the brow situation. I'm going to, oh, I forgot this had a sharpener on the end of it. You go Wet n Wild. I'm going to take the little smudger thing and I'm going to use that to move my brows the direction I want them to be. So I'm kind of using it like a spoolie. All right. You can see I'm lacking in the brow department, so we're going to get that together right now. And I just start with a line underneath, and then a line on top. And then you fill in the middle. I'm just following the natural shape, where the hairs are, the line of best fit for the tail, whatever hits the most of the brow hairs that are there. And like Pokemon, I don't believe that you gotta catch them all, because you can see up close there's some that are sticking out above that line. But I just do the line of best fit. I'm not sweating about it. I don't feel like you gotta catch them all when it comes to the tail of my brow. And then I go to the front and I'm using a lighter, softer hand to fade the front. Like so. And then you got a brow. You got a brow. You got a brow. You get a brow. I got a brow. And actually, I like this color with my hair. It looks to me more natural because now it's slightly lighter than my hair color, which I feel like your brows should be just a little bit lighter than your actual hair on your head. So it looks good. Don't think I'm going to need to add any black to this. This shade is black brown, so it's a really, really dark brown. Really, really dark brown. Doing the same thing, start with the line on the bottom, move to the line on the top, fill it in. Moving on to the tail, finding the line of best fit to hit as many hairs that are in that general area as possible. And come back, fade the front using a lighter hand, fill in and fade the front. And boom, you got a brow. You see how simple I make that? And easy and uncomplicated. And these brows last. They don't move, they don't budge, they don't smudge, because this product has a 12-hour wear and it's amazing. I love it. I love it. And I feel like, look at my brows. Like, they look beautiful today. They are not playing games. Which is perfect for when you're going to see your ex. Just saying. Because I don't play games. Neither do my brows. Alright, so I love that my brows came out. They're like almost identical and perfect, and love. I'm so happy about my brows. And I'm loving the way my skin is looking as well. Even though I'm hot. I'm sweating. It's really hot in here. But my face looks great. Alright, moving on to the eyes. This is the main thing y'all come for anyway. We're doing a purple look with a wing liner. I guess I'm going to do wing liner. I don't know if I'm feeling it. We'll see. I already have the shadows out. I have the palettes out. I'm ready. I'm prepared. Now I just have to choose my brushes, but I already know the first couple of brushes I want to use to get this going. This look going. I just have to find them. It's kind of hard to see with this light, the way it's shining at my eye. And it makes it kind of hard for me to see. Okay, we got this brush and possibly this brush. Okay, got all my brushes chosen for this look. So we're going to start with this brush from Coastal Scents, and this is just going to be used to apply my transition color, which is going to be an orange shade from my Juvia's Place, the Nubian 2 palette, which I love. We're going to use the shade Morocco, of course. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's orange. It's perfect transition color. And we're just going to use a fluffy brush from Coastal Scents to apply that all in my crease, like all up in there and slightly above. Y'all can see. And this is a matte shadow. So we're starting off with the matte shadows first. And I'm really blending this and diffusing it out because I want it to peak above all the rest of the shadows we used today. So you can see I'm using windshield wiper motions to really put that there. Really get it in there. I love Juvia's Place eyeshadows, I really do. I love her palettes. I think they're amazing. They're good quality, good bang for your buck. The pans are really large in the Nubian 2, the Masquerade, and the Saharan, which I don't own the Saharan yet. It's out of stock, but when it gets back, I think I'm gonna get one for me and my sister. For my sister and I should say. I just like buying her stuff, I don't know. It's just kind of bad, because we all do. Like, my whole family enjoys, like, kind of spoiling her. But she needs to work and own her own stuff. I make that very clear to her, too, even though I still, like, buy her things. Okay, we're drinking our tea. We're still blending. I really do love this shade. It's beautiful. Just look at it. It's so pretty. It's a great transition shade. And we're going from inner to outer corner. You see, I'm getting all the way up in here, too. We need this all over, all over. And out here as well. All right, so the next shade we're gonna go with is the shade Kenya from the same palette. And it's right here. It is a deep brown shade right there. That's gonna be next. We're gonna start kind of layering and deepening up the crease. I'm gonna use the same brush to do this. I'm going under it just a little bit. You can see how I'm starting to deepen this up. Going in again, adding a little bit more. I'm going all the way in as well, but just very lightly in here, not too heavy. All right, so we have that right there. Going to the other side. Doing the same thing. Kenya, this brown shade. This is going to be the foundation before we apply a deeper purple shade on top. This is like kind of our base. There's going to be a lot of layering with this look just because I want it to be very blended and gradient. So we're going to be layering a lot of colors. Which is something I don't normally do because I'm lazy AF when it comes to my makeup looks most of the times. But you guys know weekends are my time to be creative, so I kind of go all out. Okay, so making sure to really get a light application of this shade in here as well. Okay, so now we're gonna go into actually, I think I'm gonna put this one back just because might get too intense. We're gonna go into the Masquerade palette now from Juvia's Place. And we're gonna, what is the shade I was thinking of that is deep purple? Is it in here? Did I totally miss that? Oh, I did. We're staying in the Nubian 2 palette, and we're going to go into the shade Jezebel, which is a deep matte purple. And we're going to apply that over top of Kenya just to make it darker. And I'm using the same brush as of right now. I'm applying this right on top of Kenya. I'm blending that out. Now I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to take this Sigma diffused crease brush, E38, and I'm going back into Morocco, the orange shade that we first applied in our crease. And I'm going to go over the edges of all of this with this brush to blend out the purple. I'm now going to take this brush and go into a deep shimmery purple from the Nubian 2 palette called Layla. It is a very dark purple, and I'm going to I'm not going to use this brush. I'm going to use this BH Cosmetics 122 brush to apply that into the crease area. It is a shimmery, really deep purple. I'm really focusing this on the outer V area and right in the outermost part of my crease to really deepen that up. Like I said, this does have shimmer to it, this shadow, but we're really starting to define the eye. And this purple is really, really dark. It's much deeper than the other purple, Jezebel, from this palette. Other eye. And I'm using this brush because it's very dense, so it's not really going to blend it. It's more for like color placement. It's really going to pack the color on where I want it. As you can see, we have almost zero fallout on the face as well. I basically have very minimal fallout right now on my face. Which is really good. You don't want fallout all over your face, especially if you do your foundation first like I do. Alright, going back to this diffuse crease brush, going into Jezebel. As you can see, I don't really wipe my brushes off in between dipping them into other shadows. And this is that lighter, brighter purple that's on the edge of this deeper purple, and I'm just blending out the edges so that we get nice gradient diffused look. You see how it's like transitioning really, really pretty? All that layering is what does that. I'm now going to take my finger and go into Layla just to get more pigment, and I'm placing that on the outer V area with my finger just so it's more intense. And I'm kind of going a little bit onto my lid. Using your finger with the Juvia's Place shimmery shadows will give you more pigmentation. So I used the brush first to kind of map out where I wanted it to be, and now I'm using my finger to intensify. As you can see, now we got a blend. I'm going to mix the Jezebel and the Layla together, the lighter and the deeper purple on the same brush, just to help it blend. Like so. So now it's time to go into the lid color. And I'm trying to decide what purple I want to use. I took out all these palettes that I don't think I'm even going to use. Yeah, I'm not going to use this one. So we're narrowing it down to really 2 palettes by 2 Juvia's Place palettes and this Urban Decay. I'm going to go into the shade. Wow, I have lots of purple options. Let's see. Okay, that looks like number 1 so far. Yep. I'm going to go into the Masquerade palette, and I'm going to use the shade Makita on my lid, which is a very bright, vibrant purple. Look at that. It is gorgeous. Oh, wow, one of my shadows just fell out of here. Oh, yeah, this one has fallen out before. This is like one of my favorite golds. Look at that. Beautiful. But it falls out. I forgot about that. So we're going to use this purple right here, the super vibrant purple. And I'm going to go with my finger. I'm not even going to waste time trying to use a brush for this. I'm just going to go in with my fingertip to apply this on the lid. Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. Perfect. You see how rich this purple is? It is beautiful. It is gorgeous. And I'm really focusing this like only on the lid. I'm not trying to take it into the crease at all. I just want it to be really nice and opaque on the lid only. Like so. And my sister's technique, she basically layered all the same colors that I did, except instead of doing the purple on the lid, she did green. So that'll be next time. And hers was like a more olive green, and it was so pretty. It was like a bright olive. It wasn't dark olive, but it wasn't a bright green. It was right in the middle. It's really pretty. I think I want to do that. But I'm loving the way this is turning out. Purple is just such a beautiful color. And this shade of it is just gorgeous. It's the color of royalty. Got royalty, got loyalty inside my DNA. Yes, Kendrick. I love that song. And I agree. So look at that on the lid. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? So now we just need to add more of Makita to blend in that outer V area so that we get some more depth in this look. Which is hard to do while trying to hold a mirror. So Makita is that deep purple from the Nubian 2 palette that I placed on the outer V area. And now I'm going to just blend the two together. It is really dark. It's almost like a black. So you gotta be careful with it. So you don't get too much on here. But I really want there to be depth out here in this outer V. Like so. And then we're going to have to add some depth, more darkness to the crease with Kenya, that brown shade. So I'm just going to wipe my fingers off on my bathrobe because this is my makeup bathrobe. So that's why they're always covered in makeup. So now I'm going to take that diffused crease brush and go into Kenya, the brown shade in the Nubian 2 palette right here, right next to Layla, that deep purple I just put on my lid with my finger. And I'm going to deepen up the crease, right inside of the crease. This look is very kind of sultry, a little bit sultry. That's okay with me for church. Now I'm going into the purple, Jezebel, that matte purple shade. I'm layering it on top of Kenya just so that we don't lose the purple tones in this look, because it really is all about the purple tones. But layering it on top helps to add depth and dimension. And then with the same brush, going into Morocco to blend out the very edges so that we still have that peak of orange in this look that I really wanted to show through on the edges. Just to help blend everything out. Lastly, I'm going to touch up the lid color with a brush, and then we'll move on to the lower lash line. The brush I'm going to use is this Sigma short shader brush. And I already know what I'm going to do for my inner corners and the lower lash line. So I've got a plan. So I'm just going to take it into Makita, that bright purple that is on my lid. And I'm just going to touch up the lid with this brush. Make sure that it really, really, really pops. Like so. And now I just feel like I need to go in with a brush that has some darker shadows on it and just touch up my crease a little bit. I feel like I need a little bit of black or something to deepen up my outer V. Like it's kind of dark, but not really. I want it to be a little bit darker. What do y'all think? I'm trying to look at it. But I don't want it to be too dark because it is daytime. We'll leave it as is. All right, moving on to the lower lash line. I'm going to use that same short shader brush that has the shimmery purple on it, but now I'm just going to layer the matte deep purple from the Nubian 2 palette on top. The one called Jezebel. I always end up wearing this shade to church, which always makes me feel a little weird just because of the name of it. But we're going to take that on the entire lower lash line. First, we're going to do some layering down here as well. I'm taking this shade on first. Then I'm going to go into Layla, the deeper, darkest purple that we put on the outer V area, and I'm going to layer that on the outer 1/3 of my lower lash line to create some depth. I'm tapping some up on the outer 1/3 of my upper lid, lower lash line. And then I'm going to go into the purple that we have on our lid called Makita from the Masquerade palette. I'm going to put that in the center of my lower lash line using the same brush, not wiping it off or anything, just dipping right in. Putting that in the center. And now it's time for the inner corners. So we are done with the 2 Nubian palettes that we basically use to create this look that I'm in love with how it's turning out. Now it's time to go into a totally different palette. This is the Smashbox Shadow Box, not Smashbox. This is the Urban Decay Shadow Box palette. And we're going to use the shade Flash, which is a nice lavender mid-tone purple. Lavenderish mid-tone purple. And that's going to be our inner corner color and inner like 1/3 of our lower lash line. I'm using a Coastal Scents brush to apply that. And it just flows so perfectly with what's already been done. So you can see this is a beautiful purple shade, and it's kind of iridescent. It's gorgeous. Look at that, how that just made the eye look pop. Gosh, this is beautiful. Just, this is gorgeous. So pretty. I love the way this look came out. My mom's gonna love it. I'll have to FaceTime my family. I have some shadow that's like trying to get in my eyeball and I'm trying to get out. There we go. Get that out. So that is the shadow look. Now all we have to do is apply. I think I'm just going to apply a very thin wing liner and then a crap ton of mascara. And I'm going to do a mauve lip, I think, with this. A nudish mauve lip. Thinking ColourPop tulips would be perfect. You can just see how everything's coming together now. So pretty. All right, liner. I'm just gonna use my NYX matte liquid liner. My NYX matte liquid liner has a brush tip applicator. Really have to concentrate on this. Love the way this look came out. And I'm doing like the thinnest line possible, and I'm not gonna go all the way in. I don't even really want to wing it out. Just kind of want to stop right there. It's just gonna help define my eyes a little bit more. Like tight lining would, but I don't feel like tight lining because I might cry and I don't want to mess up what I've done. So it's much easier for me just to use a black liquid liner to define my lash line than to tight line. Hopefully I can see that. I'm trying to drag it out just a little bit more. But I really want it to be like super thin. There we go. I do drag it out. It's going to be really thin and wispy. Or not cooperate, which is why I don't really F's with liner like that. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's terrible. Okay, so now we have like an extreme liner on one eye and not so extreme on the other. So now I have to make them match, which is terrifying. Okay, so that side isn't that bad. We're just gonna make the best of this, you know? We're just gonna be optimistic about what has just happened. Okay. We survived. Kind of. Okay. I like this wing. I can live with this. They're not perfect, but it's good enough for me. Alright, so now I'm just gonna take my beauty blender. Just touch up the skin. I feel like my highlight isn't as powerful as I want it to be. I am done with the eyes. All I need to do is mascara. That liner just kind of sort of terrified me. But I like it. It looks good. Looks really pretty, actually. Whew. All right, gonna touch up the highlight. Same highlighter, same brush, same technique. I just want it to be a little bit more intense, so I'm just gonna go over it again. Just to really make me glow. Okay. So now we can do mascara and lips. I already know the lip color I want. I think 2 lips will be perfect with this look, for this look. Putting stuff back. All right, the mascara I'm gonna use my L'Oreal Carbon Black Telescopic. First, I may go in with another mascara. Really want my lashes to be lengthened. And this is perfect for that. Okay, so 1 coat, go into the other eye. And I'm not really gonna wear my hair like this, by the way, even though I kind of like it. It's really messy. I was planning to wear it down. I might pick it out some, get some really good volume out of it. It's still not 100% dry because I dyed it yesterday and did my wash and go yesterday. Still drying. This mascara is basically brand new, so it's still very wet and it's not layering as well as it normally does, so I have to kind of let it dry in between coats. It's great for lower lashes though because of how small the brush is and the bristles, and it's a rubber wand. I got royalty, got loyalty inside my DNA. I'm loving the way that this look came out. I'm really happy with it. Took a while, took a lot of layering and blending and patience and reapply, blend, reapply, blending, but sometimes that's what you gotta do. But I really only use like 4 or 5 different shadows. I don't feel like I use too many. You could use less, but it may not come out as like smooth and blended as mine is right now. Like I could have just used 3 shadows really to do this look, but it wouldn't come out as nice. So now I'm going in with the second coat on my upper lashes now that they've dried a little bit, and it's really gonna make a difference. I love this mascara because it does not get clumpy ever. Like you can't ever over apply it because of how the bristles are made. Like it never gets clumpy. I love that. So I don't really like clumpy lashes. Like bad clumpy. There's good clumpy and there's like bad clumpy. Going back to the lower lashes, really trying to build my lashes up a lot. Because this eye look is kind of dramatic, so my lashes kind of need to be dramatic. All right, I'm like hardcore sweating. I'm really hot. But you can see my lashes are slowly but surely like building up into something significant. That's what we're trying to do here, is build up my lashes. All right, so I think I'm done with the eyes and I can apply my lip color. Yeah, I'm loving this eye look. And I'm loving the way my lashes are coming out, especially my bottom lashes. My bottom lashes are looking amazing right now. Okay, yeah, I'm sweating. I need to like take off this bathroom. All right, so those are the eyes. Again, I use the L'Oreal Carbon Black Telescopic Mascara. Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara from L'Oreal. Loving the way this came out. Let me let my hair down. Ah, it looks so good with my super dark black hair. I just wish my hair had a little bit more volume. It's still wet at the roots, so it's kind of limpy. But I'm going to try and pick it out a little bit, get more volume. But yes, I love the way my eye look came out. It doesn't look so good with super black hair. I think it looks even better. I think my looks are going to pop more now that I have black hair. And all we need is a lip. Yes, the lip. Alright, so I was thinking Tulips from ColourPop. It's kind of like a mauve pinkish color. Hopefully this looks right. I want something like true mauve. I'm trying to think, what lipstick do I have that is a true mauve color? I have so many lipsticks too, so it makes it harder to find. The one I can think of is kind of like vintage. I might mix in some vintage. I don't know. Let's see what Tulips looks like. I have a feeling that Tulips is going to be the lip color that looks. It's going to give me the look that I'm thinking of in my head. It's a little dark. So neither one of these will be it then. I think it's something a little bit lighter than this. Let me try mixing in this color. I want something mauve. This is not mauve. This is giving me nude. Just pretty. It's like almost there, but not quite. The color I'm looking for. Mauve, 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 mauve. Mauve. I have a Revlon lipstick that is more of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for more of like a pale purple. So I have this On the Mauve lipstick. This is more of the color I was thinking of. And it's close to this, but not quite. I'm gonna see if I can just put this on top. Oh, yeah, this is like a little bit more purple tone. I don't know how I feel about this lip with it now. Like, bruh. I need like a pale purple. I have a color that's in mind that I'm thinking of, but I can't find it. That's the thing. In all my lipsticks. Here we go. I found it. This one is called Berry Hot. There we go. It's more of like a purple color. And I'm going to mix in the On the Mauve with it. There we go. You see how it's starting to match my inner corner a little bit more? It's more of like a purple, pale purple. That makes a little bit more of this one in there on the edges. That's more of the color I want. A true mauve. You see how it pulls with the eyes a bit better? There we go. So this is the look. Let me know what you think of it. I love the way the eyes came out. I am in love with the eyes. I almost want to put this eyeshadow on my lips, but I feel like that'll be a little too much. I'm liking the more subtle mauve lip, like a more nuder lip. All right, this concludes this tutorial. Really long, but I love it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for your support. Let me know what you think about the black hair. Let me know what you think about this look. Let me know what you think about just all of it. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye, YouTube.